Sleepy lo-fi is undeniably king right now, with Lo-Fi Girl themselves releasing a flurry of sleepy lo-fi albums and the Lo-Fi Sleep editorial playlist amassing hundreds of thousands of streams for the non-fake artists that are lucky enough to be placed on it. With that in mind, let's jump into FL Studio and cook up a sleepy lo-fi beat. This is a sleepy beat that I've been working on recently, and yeah, let's jump straight into it. I'm just going to play you guys a quick little preview of how this sounds. So this is a sleepy beat, so I dropped the tempo here all the way down to 55 BPM. This is slower than most of the beats that I make, but not by too much. And I started with these gorgeous piano chords. Just starting there with an F major suspended chord. Stealing some of those notes for a little joining chord here. Going into an A minor 7 chord. Then into a G major. But continuing with that top C note. And then just repeating those chords with a slightly different inflection on our joining chord. Now I layered that with this Labs whirly sound. And this is just playing the same exact chords, arpeggiated. Which gives it that really lovely, sleepy, ambient kind of background to the track. And then I also layered in a pad sound that comes with the original's cinematic soft piano, and all that is the piano set to 100% pad sound with a large reverb, and I've removed all the hammer and pedal sound. And again, we're just playing the same chords, slightly different inflections. And then that kind of just follows on in the background of the pianos. Once I had my core pianos for the track, I layered in a really simple drone here, just playing the C and the G, playing in the C major scale. This is just the 1 and the 5 of that scale. So just a really simple, basic intro to the track. From there, I just started fleshing out more of an idea of the track. So I layered in a bass. Now this is played on my Fender Squier jazz bass, but it's just following the root notes of the chords with some embellishments, I guess. From there, layered in some drums. So we have a kick, snare, and then a hi-hat. And all of the hi-hats are sidechained to the kick. And I also did a little bit of a filter on the kind of hit of the hi-hat. So originally it sounded like this. And then I kind of just faded in that sound just to make it a little bit softer, which I thought was a really nice touch. With all of those elements together, we have more of sort of a full sounding structure of a beat. After that, I started working on a melody. So the first melody I wrote is this piano melody. which I thought had just a really lovely kind of emotional vibe to it. And then from there I started layering in some guitar sounds, and the very first guitar sound I added was this kind of weird slide. I essentially just slid my hand back and forward across 2 notes on the guitar. I then reversed that, so you get these kind of constant, I don't know, warping sounds in the background of the track. Which I actually thought was just a really cool little kind of sound to add to the track. From there I started working on a melody, and this is the guitar melody that I came up with. Leaving it really simple, leaving tons of space for the piano melody to kind of call and respond to each other. And then you'll notice at the start here I added some parts from that main guitar melody just as a sort of intro, and I also filtered these out to have a sort of radio frequency on them. And then the final guitar part that I added in this section was just a really simple guitar arp. So nothing crazy going on there. Added a couple of transitions at the bottom here, and that is the main of this first section of the track. Just play you the intro and then a little bit of that main section. And then after that section, I wanted to let the track breathe a little bit. So I kept a couple of the elements going. I kept the whirly piano arp, the pad piano, one of those weird guitar slides to transition us into the next section of the track. We're just letting the track breathe. Then at this point here, I brought the bass back in and introduced another guitar layer. And this is just another repeating guitar pattern. And it's just a kind of melancholy pattern for this bridge, and it just helps transition the song between the 2 sections. And finally, at the end of the bridge, pretty much everything cuts out. We have a transition into the next section, which is really championed with this piano part, which is just a slightly different alteration to the main piano section here. So we'll just take a listen to how that end of the bridge sounds. And then the very final part of this track is just one last guitar pattern, and this is a second guitar melody that I use only for this last sort of 8 to 12 bars before the outro. And then for the outro, there's nothing that you haven't heard before. We go back into our intro guitar there, the bridge guitar pattern playing here, and then slowly break it down to just essentially the intro all over again. And everything fades out really nicely. So yeah, that's that. I'm actually really happy with how this track came out. Let me know in the comments if you think I should drop this one. I really love how it's sounding so far. And if you have any questions on my production techniques, or if there's anything I haven't covered in this video, do drop a comment and let me know, and I will reply in the comments. Let's see if we can get this video to 100 likes, and if we can, I'll drop this track. So yeah, that is how I would make a sleepy lo-fi track in my style. So yeah, that's all from me. Peace out.